Welcome, beautiful souls. I'm Felicity from Enchanted by Soul, and this is the weekly energy forecast from the 23rd to the 29th of January. So for those who are new here, as I said, I'm Felicity. I'm an intuitive tarot reader, a psychic, a spiritual teacher, I think I said intuitive mentor. Anyway, a bunch of things. So I hope you guys are well. Hi Steph, hi Shannon. If this resonates, by the way, drop it in the comments below. If you want to work with me, if you're over on Instagram, you can click the description box below, but also click the link in my bio. If you're on YouTube, just check the description box below where all the links are. And if you want to buy me a coffee, feel free to buy me a coffee. But I have so much coming through for this week, guys, already. I've got a notebook here, so I did some pre-channeling and a bunch of messages came out. So the first thing that I got was this feeling of the energy is really moving this week, okay? I heard that some will be propelled forward, okay, so at like an accelerated rate, and others it's like more of at a slower pace, but regardless, the energy is really moving and it's going to start to really move this week. I also got a message around patterns being released, okay? So there could be some, hi Cynthia, there could be some patterns that a lot of you, myself included in here, have struggled to release, or it's kind of like they keep coming up and you can recognize it, you've done some work around it, but it's like this, it's almost like there's still a little bit that just hasn't been fully let go, and you're going to find that to be, the word that I heard was just a bit more like of an easier and effortlessness of releasing that, okay? So if the pattern thing doesn't, remember guys, take what resonates, leave what does not. So if that's not resonating, just leave that one. Hey Ali, hi Alexis, welcome. Okay, the next one I got to was there's a need to focus on the feminine, okay? The feminine energy. The masculine energy is also really important, the taking action, you know, the strategy, all of that. But there is a message that was coming through that there's been almost like a little bit too much for that. Not everyone, but some have been dropping into the masculine too much, that there's been almost like a neglect of the feminine. So there really needs to be a nurturing of self. Remember, this is not based on gender, this is energy. So there needs to be a nurture on self. And there's like message that came through was like some have forgotten to rest. Okay, it's almost like this, like the new year began and it's like, cool, it's a new year, I've got to do this, I've got to do this, I've got to do this. And the message is like, it's okay to slow down. It's okay to let life move you. Yes, the energy is moving forward, okay? And I mentioned that some are going to be really propelled, others it's going to be at a slower pace. But just because the energy is moving and things start to open up a bit more doesn't mean that we don't rest, okay? Doesn't mean that we don't nurture ourselves. So that was a real big message there as well. The other one, which is interesting, was how are we grounding? So how are we not grounding. I'm like, I write so messy, so I prefer to write in my phone. How are we guarding our heart from receiving the truth? Okay, hi Misty, how are we guarding our heart to receive the truth? This was a really interesting message, and what came through with this was that we might not want to hear the truth of something. We might not want to hear the truth that something is not for us, that the path we've been walking down, the relationship we're in, whatever it is, it's just actually something we've grown out of, or it's not in alignment, or it's just not for us. And we don't always want to hear the truth, right? And so sometimes we guard ourselves from receiving that. The message that then came through was that with the truth, momentum can happen. So when we receive the truth of something, when an illusion is shattered, when we allow ourselves to see the illusion, when we allow ourselves to receive and see the truth, we're able to grieve if we need to and move forward, or we're able to just go, oh, I get it. And there's this clarity and a release. And then we're actually able to gain momentum and create new beginnings, new doorways, and all of that too. So let me know, guys, those who are joining live, if any of that is resonating so far. But there's just some interesting messages that came through. I actually have some new guides that were coming through, actually. They've been wanting to work with me for a bit, and they were really strong in the pre-channeling before I started the live. And yeah, so they're coming through with a lot of messages. So I'm going to grab a couple of oracles here as well. Also remember too, if we're not allowing ourselves to see the truth, we can miss opportunities. We really can. We can miss opportunities. We can miss offers. We can We can miss things because we're focusing on things that aren't for us. We're focusing on not wanting to see the illusion, okay? And sometimes when the illusion is shattered, it's not super pleasant, but it's important, and it's important for us to see so we can move forward. Connecting to your heart center, okay? Connecting to your heart space is going to be really important this week. Again, this is like dropping into that feminine energy, really nurturing yourself. Self-devotion as well is really coming through. And I'm not just talking about self-care, guys. I'm talking here on like a deeper sense of self-love that brings in self-worth, okay? When we have a high level of self-worth, we become extremely magnetic. And that's that Empress energy. Ooh, she's so high self-worth. It's just like she just draws in everything that is meant for her because she's magnetized, right? Doesn't mean she doesn't take action. You guys know that. I speak about it all the time. All right, let's see what comes through here for this week ahead, the 23rd to the 29th. Okay. What else have we got here? Love it. Okay. We have a fiery climax approaches. We have it's time to release negativity, and luck is on your side. So we have 2 full moon cards here, and we have a new moon. So the fiery climax, this can be, again, like something it's just built up so much that it's almost like Spirit's not going to allow us to stay in illusion anymore. It's not going to allow us to stop seeing the truth. I recommend always that we allow ourselves to have revealed to us what needs to be revealed, okay? That's for our highest good, that's for our growth, our evolution, versus it being made to be shown to us, because when it's made to be shown to us, it tends to come through in a bit of a tower moment, versus us being like, okay, you can show me this. Even if it's harsh truth, it's always, it's always for the best. So this can be the fiery climax. Here's what I'm getting as well. But also, again, talking about that energy of the gaining momentum, things really starting to move. Some of you might even feel like a fire behind you, okay? As in, it's like, it's go time. It's time to move on this. You felt stagnant before. Now, all of a sudden, you're feeling really busy. You're feeling a lot of momentum. That's great, but don't forget the feminine of dropping back into the nurturing, dropping back into the rest. And it's okay to have the balance. In fact, that's what we want to do. We want to have the balance. The releasing negativity, I spoke about the releasing patterns, right? The patterns that aren't serving us, the patterns that are keeping us stuck, the patterns of self-sabotage, the patterns of procrastination. Guilty of the procrastination, right? Which is another form of self-sabotage, guys, okay? So don't be like hard on yourselves when you notice a repeated pattern keeps coming up. Self-awareness is the first step, and then we're able to process that, work through that, and then really move forward, okay? And we can break it. But it feels like a really good a week of, again, you could have your pattern that is shown to you, and it's like it's just the illusions are shattered, and like here it is. Allow yourself to process it and release it, okay? Allow that. Then with the luck is on your side, and this is the new moon in Sagittarius energy, right? So Sagittarius is like travel, it's movement forward, it's adventure, it's like the feeling of freedom and the like want of freedom as well. So if you've been feeling trapped, if you've been feeling stuck, have a look at your patterns, have a look at the energy that you're in right now, the patterns and the habits that you have right now, of what's keeping you there, and see what you can break. So again, allow yourself to see the truth. Allow yourself to see the truth. Do not guard yourself from seeing the truth. It'll be shown to you regardless anyway, guys. Seriously, it will at some point. It's just, it's better for it to be shown in a kinder way versus a jarring way. But the luck is on your side. And remembering as well, if you've been feeling quite down, if you've been feeling frustrated, and we can start to get into that energy of like, it's not going to improve, it's not going to get better, it's not going to move, like, and we get stuck in that, which we're human, so it's normal. Release that though, and have faith and trust, and know that miracles can occur like all the time, at any moment. And you could be feeling stuck one day, and then the next day it's like bam smack, all of a sudden you're in this new reality, and you're like, what the fuck, how did that happen? But it didn't just happen overnight, right? It's been building, the energy's been building, and there's been momentum that's been happening even if you can't feel it. But this week there's a feeling of that. So with the momentum, with the energy, with things moving, you're gonna, I heard that some are going to be propelled forward, and others it's at a slower pace, but regardless, the energy's still moving. Okay, I'm just going to grab one more oracle. How was the new moon for you guys? How was the energy? How are you feeling? Okay, if you're feeling lost, or if you're feeling like this moment of being like, who am I? Or like, I don't even think I know myself anymore. And if you're feeling these weird like just feelings coming in like that, the message here is you've been through a big shedding, right? You've been through a really big shedding. You've been going through a big shedding. For some, it's been years, okay? But it's like going through this shedding, and you're stepping into this new version, and that can come with uncertainty, and it's also a time of discovery. It's a time to discover new things about yourself, okay? New hobbies, new interests, new passions, new ways of being, because you've shared a lot of the things that weren't serving you, including the things that we do ourselves, right? And getting to know this new version. So again, nurture yourself and have that self-devotion and that self-love as you go through that experience. Okay, Shannon says she was, okay, with the new moon, tired, very tired and headache. You know, it hit me yesterday, Shannon. It was Sunday here yesterday, which is when the new moon was in Australia. And it just hit me. It's like I was feeling pretty good, and then all of a sudden, just like the same as what you're saying here, just like really, really, really tired. I felt quite exhausted. Okay. Truth. Allow yourself to see the truth. Okay? Allow yourself to see the truth. Allow the truth to be revealed. Allow the illusion to be blown away. Allow the illusion to be shattered so we can see the truth. Okay? It's like, ignore the word flexibility. Okay, but if the word flexibility is resonating, take it, right? But I'm reading this intuitively. You see, like coming around the corner here is this tiger. And it's like appearing after having an illusion shattered and being like, oh, that's what it is. Oh, this is the truth. But it's like this slow kind of like around the corner of actually seeing it. On the bottom of the deck, I have new beginnings, right? So when the truth is shattered and when we see the truth, when we allow ourselves to see the truth, we're able to move forward. We're able to gain momentum, move forward into new beginnings, okay? For some of you, you could be seeing the truth around a situation with somebody, okay? It feels more on the romantic side, but, you know, however, it could come into the form of platonic. Don't go looking for it if that's not resonating with you, though, okay? Remember, this isn't a personal reading. Okay, move on to the tarot. Momentum, guys, okay? Allow this momentum, by the way, to drift you, to move you, some propel, but to move you to where it is to take you, okay? We don't always have to force it. We should never force it. We don't always have to be like, go, 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 go. I think this is why that message was coming through about, like, I think so many are getting too set in the masculine energy, that there is a, what's the word I'm looking for? Basically what I'm trying to say here is, thank you, a neglect. Okay, and neglect of the feminine. And we want to make sure we have a really nice balance. So being sure to allow yourself to rest. You know, if you're tired, if you've got headaches, allow yourself to rest. Give your body the rest it needs, especially when we're experiencing new, new energies coming into the earth, new energies coming into our physical body, right? It can really cause a little bit of, physical manifestations, okay? So it's important to rest, to look after yourself. Wheel of Fortune and the Ace of Pentacles. This offer wants to come in, but if we're focusing on the things that no longer exist, all right, we're trying to cling to the things that no longer exist. We're trying to cling to a past version that no longer exists. We're trying to cling to things that want to be let go of, that our soul wants to let go of. We will miss an opportunity, okay? And sometimes the opportunity comes back around and sometimes it doesn't. So pay attention, because there is something here that's wanting to come in, okay? With the Wheel of Fortune, this is closing out karmic cycles. This is moving into new beginnings. This is starting a whole brand new cycle. For some of you, it's like a whole brand new chapter, and others, it's like a whole brand new life. Okay, especially if you've been on that long healing, death, and rebirth cycle for the last few years. This is what you're coming into, okay? Okay, finances have been tight. You can expect things to have improvement. Now, with what I will say with that though, it's not always necessarily the meaning of like you can just sit back and it'll just appear, right? Sometimes, right? Sometimes that happens, but other times it's around making sure you're really listening to what your guidance is on steps to take. Sometimes the step is rest, right? And that kind of allows that momentum to come in. For some, if you have a business, okay, and you've got offers, or this feels more towards my spiritual entrepreneurs, but you've got some offers, okay, and it's not resonating, it doesn't feel in alignment anymore, you're starting to resent the offer, let it go so you can birth something new, okay? Because if you find yourself like not, like the momentum on making those sales for a particular offer has slowed down, it's because you're not feeling it anymore, right? So either rejig it and relaunch it in a way, or resell it in a way, or completely let it go and allow the birth of something new to take place, okay? That will then bring in new energy, new clients, or previous clients coming over to that as well, okay? All of that. The Ace of Pentacles, though, this is new beginnings. It's tangible new beginnings, okay, because it's pentacle energy, which is earth energy, the 3D physical. Can be around material, but it can come in many different forms. But tangible new beginnings, again, the offers, right? Okay. All right, so the Nine of Pentacles here, this is the energy of independence. It's the energy of freedom. It's the energy of like you did it, like your hard work paid off. So the Seven of Pentacles is where we plant the seeds, we water the seeds, we watch them grow, okay, we take the action we need to. The Eight of Pentacles is you put in the hard work, you put in the effort, and then the Nine of Pentacles is it comes into fruition, and then here's your blessings, it's like reaping your rewards, right? One thing I will say here is be mindful. Again, I spoke about this a bit earlier around self-sabotage. Okay, some of you it's like imposter syndrome. Again, self-sabotage, it's not like we do it on purpose, by the way. It's not like we're like, I'm going to go out and self-sabotage on purpose. Like no one does that. It's all from the subconscious. And the thing is, we can tell our conscious mind time and time and time again, a different story. But if our subconscious is not in alignment with that, we're going to behave differently, make choices differently. It's really our subconscious that is ruling, not our conscious minds. This is why we go deep into the subconscious and we do reprogramming and we do shadow work and we do things like that, okay, and releasing patterns. One way to release a pattern is once you know that it's like once you're aware of it and it comes up again and you go, oh, there's that pattern, you've got two choices. You can continue to make the same choices and decisions and behaviors that relate to that pattern, or you can choose a different option. It's not always easy, right? Because we can really get pulled back into that because we're so used to that. Even if we don't like it, we're just so used to it. Our nervous system is used to it, and we just need to. But you can make the choice to make a different one, and that will open up a whole lot. Okay, because I have this Seven of Swords here that can represent strategy. Some of you could be like needing to come up with a strategy. If you don't have clarity on strategy, this is where the energy is going back into that rest, okay, and with the feminine energy and really taking care of yourself so we can shift some energy. But also it does come down to self-sabotage, self-deceit, okay, it does come down to self-deceit. So again, thank you, having those illusions shattered. Stop guarding yourself from receiving the truth, Allow yourself to receive the truth. When we guard ourselves from receiving the truth, it's because we have an inner knowing that something is not for us. Okay, we know it's not for our highest good. We know it's no longer for us, but that means we have to make a difficult decision. That means that we are left in the unknown, and that's uncomfortable, which is why we don't want to see the truth. So there's just some messages coming through there around that. Okay, with the Queen of Wands on the bottom, I spoke about before with the feminine energy, where it wasn't just about self-care, it's also about deep self-love that is like high self-worth. It's like working on our self-worth, okay, which, you know, takes time. We don't have it overnight, but that's the Queen of Wands. Okay, she's very magnetic. She knows exactly what she wants. She goes after it, but she doesn't chase. She doesn't chase. No way. She doesn't chase. She takes the action when she needs to, but she doesn't chase. Okay, let's see what else here. I'm gonna get one from the Gaia Oracle. If you're not sure of what's to come, guys, and you're feeling kind of like I really want to know, it's important for you to know that it's okay that you don't know, right? It's okay that you don't know. And just allow the whispers of your intuition, and I say whispers because sometimes it comes through like that. A lot of the times it does. And allow that to direct you, okay? And just trust the process. Trust that where you are right now is where you need to be, and it's helping you get to the next level. And sure, pay attention to the patterns, pay attention to the people around you that you just don't feel in alignment with anymore, things within your business you don't feel in alignment with anymore, relationships, you know, all of that, health even, okay? Where are you sabotaging your health? Where are you not paying attention? I'm hearing gut health as well, that's coming through really strongly. Really paying attention to gut health. You know, our guts are connected to our brain, okay? They're connected to our brain, so it's really important to take care of our gut. Just spoke about feeling lost, right? If you're feeling lost, if you're feeling confused, if you're feeling like you're not sure what is to come and you're kind of searching for an answer, you're searching for something, stop searching. Stop searching and just let it appear when it's meant to appear. If you look back on your life and you look at times where you were feeling that energy as well, like searching for something, really looking for something, being like, what's to come next, and trying to figure it out, and then jump forward, all of a sudden you're in like a different life, you're in a new relationship, you're in a new, like you're living in a new area, a new career, like whatever it is, but you're experiencing something so new and you're like, holy shit, like I actually got there, but I didn't even see how that was going to happen. It just happened. I just was guided on the way, the journey I was on was where I was being led to. So we don't have to know, okay? So you don't have to keep searching. Also, when it comes to shadow work, and if you're wondering, oh, do I have any patterns? Don't go searching for something that's not coming up for you, okay? When something comes up for you, get curious, but there's no point digging into something that isn't coming up for you, because we can end up uncovering something that we didn't need to, wasn't necessary, and we can further traumatize ourselves, okay? That's also why it's important when you work with, whether it's a therapist, whether you work with a healer, make sure you're working with people that are trauma-informed, okay? Especially if you go more of the holistic route, because I mean, people who do psychology and stuff like that, they are trauma-informed, but yeah, so just make sure. Okay, we have Night Wind, which is facing fear, subconscious release, and healing. Okay, facing fear, subconscious release, and healing. This is a number 23, which, interesting, before I tell that bit, but it comes from number 5, right, which is all about change. But the reason why I say interesting is I had a dream last night that I had to call 000, which over here is like 911, right? So calling emergency services for somebody that was like in trouble. And I had to call an ambulance. This is a dream, by the way, for anyone who's just joined. And the ambulance, I got a phone call back saying it'll be there in 23 minutes. And I kept seeing the number 23 in the dream. And you think about ambulance being like with the siren, it's kind of like a warning, and not a warning to be scared about, but a warning of like, hey, the patterns that you're doing, things that is in your subconscious is trying to get your attention. Pay attention. What is keeping you back? What is holding you back? Today's also the 23rd here, but anyway, let's just find that interesting because this is a number 23, and facing fear, subconscious release, and healing, which is really important, because then what comes next, which came out with that card, is the tree of life, right? So if I say the tree of life, and this resonates with you, just thinking like, oh, have a look at that. Okay, look up the spiritual meaning of the tree of life. There's an extra message there for someone, or for a few of you at least. But this is number 1, right? So new beginnings. Again, with the Wheel of Fortune, it's number 10, closing out a chapter. Okay, the Ace of Pentacles, number 1, new beginnings. And we have another new beginning here. So it's got fertility, creativity, destiny, and magical blessings. So we don't need to search for the next step. We don't need to, it's like if you're feeling confused and overwhelmed, it's really normal. Just release that. Okay, do some subconscious work. Releasing any fear, facing your fear as well. And sometimes facing the fear is allowing yourself to see the truth of a situation, because the truth might not be what exactly you want to hear, or what it is that you want to see. But it's important that you face that fear, because what that's going to do is it's going to allow you to push through, and it's going to allow you to step into the new. And it's going to allow the energy to shift and allow the energy to move, so things can start really aligning for you. And you'll find too that things start to come in quickly when we do that, okay? Be easy on yourself through the process. But have a look at the two different images here, okay? Both are trees, but you know, we have these colors, this image, and then this is, once this is like released, this is what we're stepping into. So again, I have that here with the Wheel of Fortune, the Ace of Pentacles, and the 9 of Pentacles. All freaking amazing cards, amazing energy. But then lastly comes the 7 of Swords, which is really the subconscious fears, the things that our patterns that are holding us back as well, okay? And self-deceit, not allowing ourselves to see the truth of a situation. Sometimes it's the truth that's within us that we need to shift. Then Shannon says here, the best things can never be seen. We deserve to be surprised sometimes. This is so true, okay? Anyone listening, I want you to take that in, because it is so true, Shannon. Okay, from Sacred Healing by Shannon, it is so true. Okay, that's been proven to me time and time and time again. Alexis, this totally resonates with me. I've been seeing 555 and 1010 all week, right? Change and endings, change and endings, change and endings. They're not always pleasant, and sometimes they are. Sometimes it's an ending of like, oh, thank God the cycle's closed out and change is here. Sometimes it's like, oh, this isn't change that I felt prepared for, or this I don't want to let go of this. But it's all so we can step into the new. It's all happens so we can elevate, we can move into the new, we can step into the next version of ourselves. Okay, experience new beginnings and things like that. Okay, let's see what else. I'm kind of feeling guided to still pull a few more cards. I feel like there's still a couple of messages to come out, so I'm just going to see where I'm feeling guided to. Let's start with this one. By the way, we have like all planets have now gone direct, and we have no planets in retrograde until mid-April. So this is a really good thing. Okay, this is why they're saying that this week momentum is happening again. Some are being propelled forward, and others it's at a slower pace. But regardless, it's happening. Even if it's at a slower pace, it's not going to be a slower pace forever, right? It'll pick up gradually when the time is right. We're all on different, unique journeys, different timelines, things like that. Okay. Right? Abundance and attraction. So again, this is bringing me back to that Queen of Wands energy. The magnetic, okay, energy that attracts and calls in what is for your highest good, what it is that you want, not what it is that you don't want. Because depending on the energy that we're in, we can totally attract things that we don't really want, right? Not always. Sometimes things just happen, but other times it is our energy. I won't always say it's always our energy, because I don't believe that. But the abundance, okay? Look at the harvest. I think this is the harvest. No, this is the hunter moon, right? But things coming into harvest, being able to reap your rewards. I'm getting a lot of 4s as well, and I'm seeing a lot of 4s. So 4s to me, especially if you're saying 444, but regardless, 4s to me are behind the scenes. Okay, there are things happening behind the scenes. It's like what you can't see, but you don't need to see it because Spirit's organizing it, the universe is organizing it, your soul's organizing it, okay? Then it will come into your reality when the time is right. You don't need to see how it's being organized behind the scenes. You just need to focus on your present moment and what you can do right now, and sometimes what all you can do is rest. Sometimes, yes, it is taking action. It's listening to yourself and figuring out what that is for you. I'm hearing meditate for answers, okay? So if you're trying to find some clarity, this would be a good week to do that. Now, that can be the meditation where you sit still with some music on and you just like allow the information to drop in. What you can ask, so if you set your intention, right, whether it's like, what do my guides want me to know right now? What does my soul want me to know right now? What does my higher self want me to know right now? And then just allow the words to flow through, whether that's from like pen to paper or on your phone, or whether you're just hearing it, okay, or you're just getting a deep knowing. It comes through in many different ways depending on how your channel works best, okay? So you can do it that way, but then you can also do it through the meditation of taking a walk, sitting in nature, doing artwork, dancing, okay, yoga, like whatever it is that kind of brings you into your body is what, and into the present moment is where you will receive that information. Okay, hi Misty. Misty says been seeing and hearing, been seeing and hearing 444 lots lately. Behind the scenes, things are happening behind the scenes. Okay, I love that. I'm gonna grab from this one. Thank you. Page of Voices. Again, this can be receiving information. This can be learning something new. So you could be learning some new information about yourself, learning some information about somebody, learning information about a situation. You might be also feeling really guided to pick up a certain book and read about a certain subject, to try a new spiritual practice, any sort of learning as well, but it can be self-learning too, okay? It's also an energy though of speaking the truth. The Page of, and hearing it, the Page of Swords is really honest communication. It can be a little blunt, okay? So if we're having that conversation with somebody, we want to make sure that we're just a bit mindful with our words. We can still get our point across and come to a resolution without being blunt or harsh in our words. Then also, this can just be allowing yourself to see the truth too, okay? Again, that's a big message that keeps coming through. Okay, we have the Muse of Materials, which is the King of Materials in the traditional tarot. So you see all these blossoming flowers here, just so beautiful. And it feels like, it's like your soul or your higher self and the divine. It's like there's this, and even you, your physical self, there's like this connection, right? And it's like things are being illuminated, and it's like you're really ready to walk this new path, really ready to walk towards this new door. In order to reach this space of being able to be like, oh, there it is, and I'm walking towards it, even if you don't quite understand what's through there, but you just feel it's for you, right, is going to require you to make sure that you are allowing yourself to see the truth of things, so that you stop walking down a path that's not for you, that you let go of a relationship that's not for you, that you know. I'm not talking about make a really impulsive decision. If you feel the need to make a really impulsive decision, and impulse isn't a bad thing, right? It's not a bad energy, but if it's a really big thing that's not only going to affect you, but affect other people, just sit with that for a moment, okay? And just really think about it and make sure it's not a pattern coming through, old wounding coming through that's causing self-sabotage. Again, this is where discernment comes in, and that's why if we get that real impulsive energy, we just need to be a bit mindful. But the Wheel. Okay, so the Wheel of Fortune has now come out twice. That's big, guys. When a card comes out twice, that's a big message. The energy is moving. The energy is shifting. What has to fall away will fall away, okay? So that we can let go and we can come back up to the top and begin a brand new cycle, okay? Not everything can come with us, and that also includes certain elements of ourselves. One more, please. Nine of Emotions. Look, she's like in a meditation, right? So I spoke about that to receive the answers, but the Nine of Emotions is the Nine of Cups. This is wish fulfillment. It's receiving what you want. If you're feeling confused about what you want, get clear. You know, like sit in meditation. If you're like, is this what my ego wants? Is this really what my soul wants? Ask, is this what my soul wants? Yes? Or not really. Is this what I want? Is this what others want? Is this really what I want to do, or is this what I'm expected to do? It's like I'm being drawn to the lamp here. It's reminding me like of a genie. Okay, and again, it's like having your wishes granted. Having your wishes granted. It can be scary to let go of what needs to be let go of. And sometimes it's the control that we don't have control of what's to come next. We don't have control over every situation. We don't have control over other people. The only thing we have control over is ourselves, okay? And it's really, really important to release that control of like wanting to have the control, which is basically just you're wanting to feel safe, okay? Which is such a normal human thing. But it's releasing that and just being like, it's the unknown. I don't know what's to come, and that's okay. That's okay that I don't know right now. Don't give your power over to spirit either. Don't give your power away to channeling, to divination. Okay, don't get caught up in being like, I've got to listen to what my cards say, I've got to listen to what my guides say. No, like check in with yourself first. Check in with yourself first. Especially if you go tapping in and you do channeling or anything like that, and you start to get messages that are conflicting, or you get messages that are really negative, or it just make you feel really anxious. Disconnect and just stop doing that for a while, okay? There just needs to be there needs to be an energy reset. It's just not going to benefit you, that's all, okay? And if you find yourself going in all the time and asking constantly questions after question after question after question, that's not healthy, and we need to take a step back from that. A lot of the times it just means that we've got to take a step back and we've got to do some either rest, or we need to do rest and taking action, but we can't get the next information and the next step until we've taken one step already. Don't be afraid to like just jump over this last little hurdle, okay, to face that fear. Otherwise the universe will flick you. They'll be like, no, that's it. Like, you're there now, come on, we're going to flick you if you don't quickly jump. And you're going to jump and you're going to be okay, right? That's a good thing to ask yourself. Is like, if you're thinking about doing something and it's bringing in fear, ask yourself this. Okay, this is the fear I'm feeling about doing A, B, and C, or moving this direction because there's so much uncertainty and unknown. You write the fears down, right? But then ask yourself, how would I feel and what would it be like if I was to not do that and stay where I am? Guarantee 9 times out of 10, because some things might be self-sabotaging, but 9 times out of 10, you're going to be like, I'm going to feel confused, I'm going to feel trapped, I might feel lonely, I'm going to feel like I'm being suffocated and I just want to break free. And that's where it's like, well, then face your fear and go and do this, because to stay where you are is not working for you, right? It's easier said than done, but what's the worst that's going to happen if you face your fear? Ask yourself that question too. Reminding ourselves too that our brain is not who we are. Our brain has a purpose, obviously. It keeps us alive. It makes my hands move like this, and it allows me to talk and da-da-da-da. We get the chemicals of it. But it's actually not who we are, okay? And this is where we get to know our soul, and we really like dig deep onto who we are as a person and not who we're being conditioned to be. Shannon says, love this. Oh, I'm glad, Shannon. I'm glad you're resonating with it. We have the 8 of inspiration on the bottom as well. This is the 8 of Wands, so quick movement forward, moving in the right direction. She's charging. She's like, I don't care. Like, I'm leaving. Look at this. You see how there's this like shadow versions of her? It's like She's here. These are some of her fears. She is relentless. She's pushing through and she's going to break through this bitch. She doesn't matter. Like, she doesn't care. She's like, I'm doing this anyway. Right? And that's the message. If you want things to move, if you want things to shift, push past your fears, allow yourself to see the truth. And sometimes the truth is like, there's nothing left to do. You need to rest right now. Okay? There's nothing you need to know. Just rest. And that can be frustrating. Okay? I get that. I get that. Okay, let's see if there's anything else. Okay, I'm hearing new job. Some of you might either be starting a new job or you're wanting to look for a new job. Okay, now seems like actually a really good time if you're wanting to look for one. Okay, because it's like astrologically it's great, but also just energetically what I'm getting is like it's a really good time for that. Also a good time to create some new offers as well if you're in business. All right, creating new offers, creating new services, okay, of what you want to do, not what you think you're expected to do or what others want you to do. That's really, really important. All right, I'm going to close this out with a closing message. I'm just trying to, let's go, still surrender. Still surrender. I love this. Surrender to miracles. I literally spoke about this towards the beginning of this reading. Okay, that they can happen at any moment, at any time. Any moment, at any time. Be open to miracles occurring in your life. Feel and know that these events are real. Let go of any resistance and banish any doubt that miracles can happen. Not always can we banish all doubt. We're going to have doubt creep in every now and then. Don't get frustrated with yourself. Don't get angry with yourself. Don't shame yourself. It is normal. Okay? We're human. We're going to have those things come in. But then we want to shift that energy and be like, it's not truth. This is actually the truth. Okay? And coming back to that. And then surrender stress, guys. Okay? Surrendering stress. Okay? It's coming back into center. Again, this is where that meditation can be really beneficial. It doesn't have to be in the traditional form. It can be in any way that feels good for you. All right, beautiful souls, that's the messages for this week. Thank you to those who joined live. Thank you to those who are watching the replay. Feel free to share this to your stories, by the way. You can send it to someone in a message, whatever you want to do if you feel like it's going to resonate. Let me know in the comments if it resonates with you. And again, if you want to work with me, just check the description box below with all the information and where you can head to work and book with me. But I appreciate you guys so much. You're welcome, Steph. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you. Thank you for all the hearts, guys. Love you guys so much. I feel so blessed to have this beautiful community. So thanks, guys. Thanks, Alexis. Thank you, Shannon. And I'll see you all soon. Okay, bye, guys.